Hindustan Times, 28 March 2024, China and India engage in a new round of diplomatic discussions that yield no tangible progress. To dominate the Indian Ocean, China is constructing an aircraft carrier fleet in the south while distracting India in the north. Wednesday in Beijing marked the 29th meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs, WMCC. Senior Indian and Chinese diplomats continued their dialogue in Beijing regarding the impasse in the Ladakh Line of Actual Control (LAC) sector. Despite the absence of imminent developments, the parties reached a consensus to sustain consistent communication via diplomatic and military means. The Ministry of External Affairs issued the following statement: the two parties engaged in a comprehensive dialogue regarding strategies to complete disengagement and resolve any outstanding concerns along the line of actual control, LAC, in the western sector of the India-China border regions. The readout stated without providing further information that, during the intervening period, both parties reached a mutual understanding to sustain consistent diplomatic and military communication and ensure tranquility and peace in the border regions in adherence to established bilateral protocols and agreements. At the 29th meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination, WMCC, on India-China Border Affairs, the Joint Secretary, East Asia, of the Ministry of External Affairs presided over the Indian delegation. The Director General of the Boundary Indo-Oceanic Department of the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs led the Chinese delegation. The Galwan Valley, situated in the Ladakh region, emerged as a site of escalated hostilities between India and China in June 2020. When violent confrontations broke out between Chinese and Indian troops in the Galwan Valley, the situation escalated. The confrontation, which caused fatalities and injuries on both parties, represented the gravest escalation in the border dispute between the two nations in several decades. Both parties deployed additional military personnel and equipment to the region in response to the conflict. This prompted diplomatic and military discussions between the two nations to defuse the situation and avert its escalation. According to New Delhi, relations between India and China are at their most somber stage in 60 years. The latter maintains that the normalization of the relationship is contingent upon the reinstatement of tranquility and peace along the LAC. Since the start of the impasse, both factions have amassed forces in the Ladakh sector exceeding 50,000 each. Notwithstanding 4 rounds of disengagement from Pangong Tso, Gagra, PP-17A, Galwan Valley, and Hot Springs, PP-15, the Ladakh theatre continues to be occupied by tens of thousands of personnel and advanced weaponry from both the Indian and Chinese armies. Concerns regarding Deemchok and Depsung remain on the negotiating table.